In the mid-1990s, she was Erin Verbeck, Pittsfield Sockey track and field and cross-country star who would later go on to run Division I at Western Illinois University. Today, she is Erin Verbeck, the Chief Joy Officer for the Joy of Marketing, a nationally respected expert in that field, and in 2012, she became a New York Times bestselling co-author for the book Worth Every Penny. It's not exactly a linear or traditional journey, but it is one that has ended up in triumph.
Tri-State Triumphs, sponsored by Good Samaritan Home of Quincy.
While I was at Western, I did an internship with an ad agency in Springfield, Illinois. And it happened that the person that I did the internship with, her husband was from Pittsfield. And so that's how I got the internship. And fast forward a couple years, I graduated college. This particular woman, who is the co-author of our book, had twins, and I replaced her at the ad agency. Then fast forward another, how many years? 10 years maybe. And she calls me up and says, "Hey, I have this business. I have these two businesses. I can't keep them both up at the same time. I need you to come in and step in and run one of them for me." And a couple years into it, she said, "Oh, we're going to write a book too while we're at it." So, I mean, it has been a wild ride, that's for sure.
This sort of a lark, you're going to write a book, and all of a sudden in 2012 becomes a New York Times bestseller.
I never in a million years would have guessed that that would be my path. I mean, my parents are both teachers, but I was not, I love to read, but I never thought that I would be an author. That was definitely not the path I was expecting to take.
And I'm going to apologize in advance because this may be the dumbest distillation of what you do you're ever at. But you are, in fact, coach, which is something that I think comes natural to your upbringing and sort of your path in this world.
Very interesting, because my business partner is, she was a D1 volleyball player at Memphis State. And so she and I, they were a top 25 team, like high level, back when she played. And, we run our company with a lot of athletes. And I think that mentality of being able to just dig in, and you might not get it right the first time, you might not win the game the first time, you might, I feel that a lot of what I do is a direct result of that experience of me, being an individual athlete. Track and field is very much an individual athlete sport. And so my business partner, Sarah, she's more of the team builder because she was the volleyball player, right? And you see it, it's just so interesting to see like how that formed so much of how what I gravitate to and what leadership styles I gravitate to, because that's where I stepped into.
I'm going to hold you even harder that line, because I think everyone I've ever run into who a distance runner is a special certain kind of, I don't want to say masochist, but there is a certain masochistic, bent to what you put yourself.
I wasn't great when I started. I mean, I was terrible. I got cut from the track team in junior high at Pittsfield. I mean, I was bad. Now, I will say the tryout was like hurdles and 100. So like, I was not going to be good at that, like by any stretch of the imagination. Right. But it took me a while to get good. I had to, years, we're talking years. I had to just keep showing up and I knew I wanted to be an athlete in Pittsfield. Like, that was the athletes are who got the attention, right? My stepdad is a basketball coach, like, and I'm not a ball sport girl. Like, I'm terrible. I'm not athletic. But this was like, I got enough. Like, my coach, Mr. Carmichael, he inspired me to just keep going. And he kept saying, like, you can be a star. I know you can be a star at this. You have to just keep going. And that just stuck with me. And in my business today, things go wrong. Right. And I think so much of the time, people would just walk away and say, you know what, I need to try something else, or maybe I need to just go get a job and work for someone else. And that is not how I'm wired.
Pittsfield is a unique petri dish that kind of formed who you are. How much of that do you carry with you on a daily basis?
So much of what I learned about hard work came from watching the people around me, growing up a couple blocks from my grandparents and, seeing how hard they worked, and my parents, how hard they worked and how much pride they had in everything they did. It was a huge, huge thing for me. And also relationships. Relationships are really, really important to me. And when you reached out, it was like, of course, like I'll do anything for my hometown. Like like anything that will help. If I get reached out to by Pittsfield High School and somebody's thinking they want a career in advertising or they want a career in marketing, like absolutely, I want to talk. I want to help kids see that like there are careers out there that I had no idea existed when I was in high school, and they're really fun, awesome things that you can do.
And as always, we have posted Erin's full interview online at khqa.com for your perusal. There is a lot of fantastic free advice from a marketing standpoint for small business owners out there, as well as just some great life advice. That's it for me. Back to you, Amber.